This is a blog that I've been meaning to do for a while now. I was going to do a written blog on it a little while ago, and I thought it might be more fun to do a video blog. I'm in a B&B at the moment in Lowestoft, and as I was leaving for this week's work, I grabbed all my self-tans that I had at home together in one bag. Now, these are just the self-tans I have at home. There are other self-tans that very much deserve a mention, many self-tans that I would like very much to use in the future that aren't here, so these aren't the only ones I would ever use. These are just the ones I happen to have at home. I will start with a self-tan that I wrote a written blog about a little while ago. It is the Clarins Delectable Self-Tanning Mousse. This is a gorgeous white mousse, so easy to apply and get even coverage from. It has an SPF 15 in it, which is quite unusual for a self-tan, and I really like that quality about it. For anyone who reads my blog ever, you may know that I am a huge SPF fan, so I like it to be in everything that it possibly can, and it's nice to see it in a self-tan. This is really great. I went to #1 boot camp in Ibiza with my friend Susie Turner last year, and she turned up with exactly the same product, so she's pretty fussy about what she uses too. And we were both raving about this. It has Mirabelle oil in it, which is probably why it spreads so well, and it just gives a really lovely even colour and smells great. This self-tan I picked up in Marks and Spencer's, must have been about 18 months ago now. It's just been at home under my sink in a basket of things that I try and I don't necessarily love. This didn't really do much for my skin at all. I'm not sure if they brought something different out. Again, for those of you who read my blog, you'll know that I am actually a huge Marks and Spencer's fan. Their range that they did with Marcel Wonders last year, their makeup range, the 3 lipstick colours, I mean, I was raving about, I was devastated that they weren't permanent items in the store. Jewel, Vamp and, I can't remember, Damask, I think the other one was called. This just didn't do much for my skin at all. It was £7.50. I think I got it on a 3 for 2 offer. Maybe they have a new product out. I'll have a look on their website now, and I'll link everything in a written blog, in a link underneath this. The next self-tan I'm going to talk about is quite new to me, Famous Dave's Self-Tanning Mousse, the Gold Edition. So the Gold Edition is a premium edition of their original tan, I believe. This is fairly natural in ingredients, no added fragrance, has pomegranate extract for instant tan without the sun. This was a little bit streaky on me. I've used it twice and both times it has streaked slightly. Self-tans don't usually streak on me. I'm usually pretty good with applying them. I applied it once before, once last night with this Zentan mitt. So maybe I'm using the wrong thing to apply it. It comes out a really nice colour. So I will keep trying with this one. It's relatively expensive. It's maybe about £24. I'll find the exact price. Great name, great branding. And I'd like to try some other products in their range very much. Shame it has gone a little bit streaky on me, but like I say, that might be me. It does say on the back, the Gold Edition is easy to apply, suitable for the face and body. That's good that it's suitable for the face too. Often I'm quite fussy about using a different self-tan on my face because I think it really clogs the pores if you're not using the right one. And I do get breakouts sometimes, which I think can be due to self-tan. It says that it gives you a streak-free, non-sticky and long-lasting tan that develops in 3 to 4 hours. I mean, I am slightly streaky, but no, it doesn't smell bad, and yes, it is long-lasting. My friend Lucy and I were both using this L'Oreal Sublime Bronze Tanning Gel at the same time a couple of years ago. I remember us both absolutely raving about this at the time. I thought I would just put this in there. I had a tiny bit left in this bottle. I thought I'd put this in there because it's just an easy one to find. It's in the supermarket, it's in Boots, it's in Superdrug, it's everywhere. It's easy to apply. I mean, it literally just slides over your skin. It's a gel, but it doesn't rub off on your clothes. Really, really nice, easy to apply, gives a nice colour. It wouldn't necessarily be my favourite tan in the world, but definitely in terms of buying one from Boots or in a supermarket, this would be the one that I would pick. Tropez Bronzing Mousse is probably my favourite self-tan in terms of how much I've bought a self-tan over the years. I remember when I was 16, maybe 15 or 16, having a facial at a salon called Hera in Sunningdale that isn't there any longer. And the lady Gemma who was doing my facial told me about Tropez, and she put some on my face after the facial and I was gobsmacked. I couldn't believe how even my skin looked. I couldn't believe the colour that I looked. And I didn't look horrendously dark, I just looked tanned. And I'm not somebody who sits in the sun. I've got relatively pale skin, and I've been given warnings from an early age about what the sun does to your skin. So I wasn't really a sunbather, and I couldn't believe the effect this product had on my skin. But the bronzing mousse, when that came out, definitely became my favourite in the Tropez range. The other product that I like very much from their everyday range is the spray. It's a very, very easy product to use. I'm not a massive fan of Tropez's everyday range compared to their original bronzing range. I just don't find it particularly effective, but I do find their spray very effective. It goes on clear, very easy to apply if you're in a hurry in the mornings and you just want a little bit of colour on your skin, and it just builds up gradually. But the bronzing mousse is something that I probably will always buy. I fell in love with Lancome's Flash Bronzer Self-Tanning Magic Mousse last year when I found it in Dublin Airport. It was on a special offer of €17 and it remained on a special offer of €17 all year, and I bought loads of them. I just took one out of the box this morning. When I really like a product, I tend to buy a couple at a time, and this is great. It lasts for ages. It's a gorgeous colour, a really gorgeous caramel colour, really easy to apply. You can't really go wrong with it. Makes your skin feel really soft and moisturised. So for about £15 for this, the thought of weighing, you know, if you go for a spray tan and it's £25, or you buy one of these at a really good price, and this will last you a few times, this gives you really great colour. So just weighing it up, it's not a terribly expensive product if you are somebody who spends money on tanning. Last year when I was in Portugal with my boyfriend's family, I used the Sunbelievable tanning mousse. Now this is their body moisturiser. This is what the range looks like. Something went really wrong with this tan on me, and this is what I ended up looking like. Obviously everyone was very amused. Rob's brother Richard told me that I looked like Magda from the Something About Mary, which is obviously a lovely thing to say. He looked absolutely horrified when he first saw me, and so did the rest of the family as people began to get together. So it wasn't my best experience with a self-tan. Let me know if you liked Unbelievable. Maybe I got an off bottle of the product. That can happen sometimes. Maybe it had been sitting around for a while somewhere before I got my hands on it. I mean, I opened it that very day and used it for the first time, so it wasn't something that I'd had at home going off and turning green, but I was a really strange colour. In terms of a body moisturiser with a tan built in, I think I've probably tried all of the ones out there in the supermarket and in Boots, and the Dove Summer Glow comes out on top for me. I really like it. It's a very reasonable price. I get the normal to dark skin version, which I would probably recommend most people should if you do want to see a difference. Obviously this just adds a tiny bit of tan a day. So it's not as though you're piling a very dark colour onto your skin, and I think getting the darker colour, I've tried both, has made a real difference. But that's so much better than the Garnier one. I was using both together for a while and I was much more impressed with the Dove version. I like the Clarins one too, although price wise I think the Dove is a better buy, just because obviously it's probably 3 times cheaper than the Clarins one. I'll look up the exact prices, that might just be me making it up. That's 150 millilitres, that's 250 millilitres, and I just think this gives just as good a colour. So I'd go for the Dove. I'm just going to quickly run through the self-tans for my face that I had open at home. My favourite by a mile is the Zen Tan Face Tanner Luxe. You put this on at night and in the morning you wake up with what would appear to be a really natural, even tan. You don't need to wear foundation because your skin looks so even. It just balances everything out and it gives a really great colour. I've actually got the medium to dark, and I've had 2 bottles of this. The last one, I had a bag stolen from my car last year and this was in there and I replaced it so quickly. I really couldn't be without this. If I do want to use something on my face, this is definitely my #1 product at the moment. Another product from Lancome's Flash Bronzer range is this Night Sun. This is also a great self-tanner. It's probably about €18 too. I got this in Dublin Airport with the other one. It wasn't on offer. Actually, maybe it was 21. I'm going to look that up. But this is a night bronzer, so you put it on at night and in the morning you wake up with a lovely tan, and you do indeed. Their bronzing range is really good. Big fan of Lancome's bronzing range. A tan for the face that I'm not such a big fan of, and everyone else is out there, this sells so much, this is one of their best selling products, is Tropez Gradual Tan for face, medium and dark every day. I just don't find that this is a particularly effective product on my skin. I don't get the Tropez everyday range. I think their bronze range is so fantastic, and their everyday range I just don't find makes any impact on my skin at all. I just don't seem to change colour, apart from with the spray, the body spray, the sheer one that goes on. Really love that product. The face one and their body version of this just didn't do enough for me. But I know how popular they are, so I know they must work for people. Maybe it's just my own skin type. In terms of an everyday product, this is my favourite one for my face. This you can use all year round, 365 days a year. They say it's Clarins' Radiance Plus Golden Glow Cream Gel. It's quite a long name. Like this very much. It really does give you that that tan that you would have hoped the Tropez one would have. Well, I would have hoped. Big fan of this. This would be my face tanner for the day. I would use a moisturiser with SPF or an SPF on top, and then I would apply this just if I didn't want to wear foundation or I needed a bit of colour under foundation. Highly recommend this product. Really, really like it. I'm pretty much through with all of my self-tanning products that I have at home. I unfortunately left my St. Moriz, I think that's how you say it, St. Moriz, spray tan at the theatre last night. Now I bought this in Newcastle a couple of weeks ago for £2.99, and I originally bought their mousse in Tesco before going to Australia last year for £3.99. I think when they're not on offer they are priced at approximately £4.99, but I will look that up and link it below. If you don't really want to invest in self-tan, something like a Tropez, then I really recommend you try this range. It's really impressive. I saw it in Australia and New Zealand for the equivalent of about 20 something pounds. So although it's cheap here, it isn't cheap elsewhere, and it is still selling. So give it a try, especially if you're not really a tan user. Always use a mitt if you can, something like this. And the Tropez toweling kind of mitt is a great thing to blend your tan in afterwards. It's just really nice to give your skin a fake tan rather than a real tan sometimes. I'm very, very big on protecting my skin and telling everyone else to as well. The sun is terrible for our skin, not just for our health, but in terms of how the skin looks as well. So I am a fan of fake tan. I know that it gets a bad reputation sometimes. You don't need it to look fake, you just need to look healthy. And it is a really nice way of making yourself feel as though you've been sunbathing when you haven't. And it is a bit of a pain sometimes to apply it rather than jump on a sunbed, I guess. But sunbeds are so terrible for your skin. And if you do like looking brown, just have a play around and find a good fake tan that you really like, that lasts a few days. It's not like you have to apply it every single day. Zentan has a pump lotion bottle. It's quite painful to put on, but it claims to last up to 7 days, and it does last for a while. I've got that at home. I might do a tan with that next week and see how long it actually does last. There are some really great products out there, so try them. And also please let me know your favourite self-tanning products. I haven't mentioned all of mine. I've tried pretty much everything over the years, I would say. But I love trying other people's, and I love knowing what works for people. And please tell me if I'm wrong on any of the products. If you have had a completely different experience with anything that I've talked about, I love to hear that too. Hope you have a lovely day.